Okay, this is going to be a quick config video on creating a new network and having it advertised into EIGRP across our routing domain. So the objective would be that we need to create a new network at our remote sites, and each site needs to be able to reach this network. For the prerequisites, you do need to have EIGRP running for this lab. I'm not going over creating the EIGRP process. So if you need to do that, I do have a previous video that you can look at for configuring EIGRP. A common scenario that would warrant this type of config, very common rather, is that your security department has discovered that some of your devices have vulnerabilities, and for this situation we're going to look at printers. It's very common for those to be the one that creates excess work for us. Who has printers in their environment, right? Well, everyone does still. Okay, so despite patching these printers, they still pose a risk to the organization, so management has requested that the printers be placed on their own network to limit their access to devices they don't need to communicate with, and we're going to do that by means of ACLs. Often what I've seen is that as an organization starts small and gets big quickly, all devices end up on one network. And then over time, we see the need through audits and vulnerability scans that, yes, we need to segment every device onto their own network. It's an administrative nightmare. However, it is a mandatory thing that you will need to deal with. The topology, I've kind of put it here in the Word document, but the headquarters is at the top in the center. And we have two sites, site A, site B, and the printers networks will be 192.168.1.0/24 and 2.0/24. I have scripted out the config right here, but I do want to focus first on the routers themselves. So what I want to show is the routing process first. That way you can see what it looks like before we started doing anything. And I will... Oh, I gotta spell this right. Okay, and we'll do the same on router or site A. Okay, so as you can see, the only network statements under the routing process are these /30 links that link the remote site up to the headquarters. So that is the configuration prior. Also, I would like to do a show IP route on the headquarters and just point out that there are no EIGRP learned routes. We just have our directly connected /30s that are in the routing table. So we'll start with site A here. I will paste in the config and I will just go over each step of it. Okay, site A. Here we go. So first step was to go into the interface for the new network. This can be an SVI, it could be a physical interface. In this lab I had some routers with physical interfaces, so that's what I did here. It could also be a sub interface. So into the interface first, give the interface an IP address. Well, often we'll use .1 for the default gateway. Or the interface IP, because it is the default gateway for that network. And most importantly, in my opinion, guess not most importantly, very important, give it a description. And then you're going to go into the routing process, which is Autonomous System 100. And we need to add the network statement for that new network. I do want to point out that this network statement doesn't advertise the network into EIGRP. This network statement says that any interface that resides in this subnet will go into EIGRP as long as it meets the criteria predetermined for it to make it in EIGRP. Not only does the interface have to be there, but it also has to be up and reachable. So in some instances where you find yourself troubleshooting networks that are not making it into EIGRP or into your routing process, please read into the EIGRP requirements. I'm going to keep this video short. I'm not going to go into that here. So for router A, we do have that done and complete. I'm going to do router B next, or site B. Okay, interface is up. I won't go through, but all the commands are identical. And the only thing that changed was the third octet in the subnet, because we have set the third octet .2 aside for printers at site B. So now we would like to take a look at the routing table on headquarters. And as you can see, they are both being learned via EIGRP on the headquarters site. One's been up for 2 minutes, one's been up for 27 seconds. So at this point, we have completed our objectives here. Now you understand how to create a new network as well as advertise it into the routing process. I hope this has been helpful, and thank you very much.